Hey, what's going on, everybody? I've got a GTX 970 here that's very unique. The 970s did have some issues in the FTW and the SSC with having some thermal events, and by thermal events I mean fire. But anyways, so this is a 970 that came into the shop. It's actually a combination of two, but this 970 is missing a fan blade up here. And I don't know what happened to it. It came in like that, but obviously that would create a ton of sound. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Anyways, I figured I wanted to show you guys this card. As again, it's an EVGA GTX 970 for the Win edition. And it's a used card. It came into the shop. We knew it was damaged and was having issues. We tried to test it to see what would happen. It had a thermal event on our testing station. Didn't damage our testing station, which is great. However, I wanted to show you what the inside of a GTX 970 looks like for those of you who are new to gaming. In here, this is your heatsink underneath your fans. And that gray stuff there is thermal paste, the same stuff that you would put on your CPU. And this... it's a little spread out, and that's the way it's supposed to look, and it's fine. You can see a little bit of dust buildup around the chip, and that's kind of normal for people who don't always clean out their machines or have a clean house. So, whatever. So this material here is not copper, that's a nickel compound, and nickel is a transition metal which allows it to have very high melting temperatures as well as being incredibly stable. For those of you taking 7th grade science, you should know that. Anyways. So back here, I've got another heat spreader, and this just comes off once you get the back plate off. And I'm sorry I didn't have that in frame. That goes right here. And this is another heat spreader. This is just cheap aluminum. But anyways, we'll throw that away. And this is what your PCB looks like on the card. You guys are used to seeing this, obviously, when you have it plugged in or you're looking at it through your window of your computer. This 970 is completely dead, and it's pretty cute. So when we were testing it in the testing station, we had a good amount of smoke coming out of here from underneath the card and out the front grill mesh right there. You can't really see any smoke build up there because usually it's burning copper and it doesn't leave too much of a smoke residue behind, which is fine. So anyways, if you look at the card, it looks just fine. It doesn't look like any visible damage on this side of the card. Now, you flip it over, and this is where it gets very festive, very exciting stuff. Those are completely toasted. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them with thermal damage. You can see just incredible amounts of temperature, not regulating electricity at all. As well as this ceramic one here, completely burned up. Just wow. That was a big... that could have been a big fire. That's great. So yeah, this is what your graphics card looks like on the inside. Minus, you know, your stuff not being burned up. But again, a 970, you can tell from reading the serial number that this one is from 2014. It is now January of 2018. So, you know, you got a 3.5-year-old card, and somebody was probably overclocking and didn't know what they were doing and just putting too much electricity through the card and just pushing it too hard. So, you know, shame on them. But at the same time, let them live and let them enjoy their lives. But yeah, you can definitely see there's a good amount of damage on there. That looks fantastic. So this one's obviously going to go into the recycling bin, and we're going to get, you know, $4 a pound, which this weighs about, I don't know, 6 ounces, so $2, but whatever. But yeah, that card has seen better days. Is there any other marks on it before we disconnect here? Oh, God, everything else looks fine. Well, except for that. But yeah, I mean, you look at it, you know, this chip, if you had the ability, you could probably pull this chip off and reapply it to another card, and it would work great. Yeah, no, there's no other visible damage except for that, you know, catastrophic failure up here on these nodes. Wow, it's so sweet. It's so cool looking. Cool beans. Have a good night. Stay out of trouble.